All right, so welcome back in with this severe weather update, an update to the severe thunderstorm warning that was in effect for Lucas and Ottawa County, and we now have a tornado warning that is in effect for Monroe County. This is going to be a short tornado warning for the next 15 minutes. This is going to be until 6:30 p.m., and we'll zoom in on where we have this active tornado warning that is occurring. This is for Doppler radar indicated rotation at this point, so we do not have anything confirmed, but it is a tornado warning issued by the National Weather Service. Just moments ago, that a Doppler radar indicated tornado. This is moving to the southeast at 25 miles per hour. It is located near Monroe, moving southeast at 25 miles per hour. Also some frequent lightning associated with this cluster. I do want you to seek shelter if you're up in this area, if you're anywhere in the city of Monroe, in and around, let's say, M50 coming in from the west side of town. You need to seek shelter. Even as far south as LaSalle, down toward Grandview, you need to be in shelter. This would extend up towards Stony Point as well. Good cluster of lightning associated with this. As what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and remove the lightning so we can see exactly what we're looking at on Doppler radar. This is in the vicinity of Stony Point that we're indicating that Doppler radar indicated rotation. We can switch over to some of the velocity signatures, and we look for competing wind speeds within this. And this is exactly what we've seen on Doppler radar. If we could come on out full screen to camera here. In the vicinity of Stony Point, we've got rotation that is showing up right over the Lake Erie shoreline, some of those turbulent winds. And some of those winds indicating that we've got competing wind directions associated with this one. So we've got inflow coming into this storm here, coming off of Lake Erie, winds that are circulating back around. This is indication of what we call a mesocyclone, which would indicate the potential is that we could have some rotation up in the clouds that could result in a tornado. No indication that that has happened at the present time, so we're going to keep a close eye on that one. I do want to update you as well, if you're here in the Lucas County area, on some strong storms that are occurring across the Toledo Metro as well. This is from Harborview out toward Maumee Bay State Park. We've got a good cluster of storms that's going on. This is a severe thunderstorm warning that is in effect. This severe thunderstorm warning, which does include Harborview, parts of the Toledo Metro, although the threat is out there right over Maumee Bay State Park. There is some associated lightning with that right along the Lake Erie shore, and this is going to be headed toward Reno Beach. This is a severe thunderstorm warning that is in effect until 6:45 p.m. The big threat with this one along our Lake Erie shoreline is going to be for the risk of some small hail and gusty winds, which could reach up to 60 miles per hour. This one continues to track to the east right around 25 to 30 miles per hour. Don't have any indication of rotation within this one, and we've scanned the skies, and similar to what we just did up there in Monroe County, we'll actively cover that as well. I don't have any indication. Some turbulent winds, yes, but they're not co-located close together, which would indicate anything that would be tight as far as rotation. So we're going to take you back up into Monroe County, keeping this similar velocity signature on there. And again, this is what Doppler radar can do. We've got the area that is going to be showing up right in this vicinity. That is going to be the area that is seeing some circulation around there. Could be enhanced a little bit by the winds coming off the lake. This is north of Monroe. So here's the River Raisin, I-75. You're up there toward Frenchtown. This is just east of there, and that is Stony Point, exactly where we're seeing the rotation. This tornado warning, it is in effect until 6:30. So that will take us to the bottom of the hour where we have that Doppler radar indicated rotation. The storm motion on this one is going to be very critical as well as this continues to move to the south and east. It is moving at 25 miles per hour, so eventually this is going to be going over Lake Erie, and I do expect that we're going to be seeing indications that rotation will be occurring. So here's what we're going to do as well. We're going to give you a view in that direction. This is what we're looking at from downtown Toledo. We've got the heaviest of that storm. I showed you this is the Lucas County storm where we've got the severe thunderstorm warning in effect till 6:45. We've got the downdraft bringing some of the heavier pockets of rain, and perhaps this is where the gusty winds are. This is just east of Oregon and over toward Maumee Bay State Park where we've got the heaviest of the rain. So right along Route 2, so we can see a little bit of clearing that's taken place toward the mouth of the Maumee River, and that lines up very accurately as well with what we're seeing on Doppler radar. So going to reset the stage of what we're looking at. We've got multiple active alerts that are occurring across our area, including a tornado warning up there in Monroe County. We're going to continue to cover that as it is in effect until 6:30 tonight. We've got severe thunderstorm warnings here in Lucas County. The exact location of that right along our Lake Erie shore and anywhere from about Maumee Bay State Park down toward Reno Beach. This is going to include the Ottawa National Wildlife Refuge. A lot of outdoor activities perhaps that we're intending to take place this evening. You need to be sheltered at this point due to the fact that it is a severe thunderstorm warning here in the Toledo Metro. The time on that is until 6:45. That does include northern parts of Ottawa County, although I do suspect that the highest threat of any wind damage is going to be across the northern extent of Lucas County. We'll get very close in on this one as well, almost down to street level, and we're out right there toward Maumee Bay State Park. Indication here, we've got Cedar Point Road, we've got North Kuzno Road, we've got Corduroy Road right here. These are areas that are seeing really heavy clusters of storms. That extends then up there toward Maumee Bay State Park. That's exactly where the campgrounds are as well, just there on the west side of Maumee Bay State Park. The lodge itself would be located right there. That extends down Cedar Point Road as well, off into eastern parts of Lucas County. We're going to continue to track this one at the east because there's a really healthy, robust cluster of some lightning, which would indicate that this storm still has some intensity to it. Could result in some gusty winds that will be coming down as that cluster of storms continues right along the lakeshore. We're out in the vicinity of Reno Beach. That storm is going to be moving off of the lake right out there toward the Bono Curve. There's Ottawa National Wildlife Refuge as well, and eventually out there towards State Route 19. Now, as we continue this coverage, because we're at least going to take you through the tornado warning at 6:30, we're going to welcome in our Fox 36 viewers as well. We are now on both networks, of course, making sure that we get you the latest and greatest information on what you need, of course, to be safe during this event. So if you're here in the Toledo Metro, especially downtown, I expect you're going to be all clear of this. This is eastern Lucas County, extreme northern part of Ottawa County, that we got an active severe thunderstorm warning for the presence of some gusty winds. But the reason that we are on air continuously right now until at least 6:30 is for the active tornado warning, or at least until this is allowed to expire a little bit earlier. We do have some of the latest information with this one, and that just came in moments ago. In fact, this is moving east now. Let's see, east at 20 miles per hour. It was located just to the northeast of Monroe, about 7 miles to the northeast of Monroe. So a little reference point on that, Monroe right down here. We're up here in the vicinity of Stony Point up toward Estral Beach, just east of Frenchtown as well, as we've got some circulation that's occurring right on the back edge of this cluster. And again, this is a little select area up in Monroe County. We're going to keep you covered, though, through the duration of this tornado warning, as we do see the indication, at least of some concern over some rotation that is occurring. Let's flip over to our velocity product. And again, it's almost like an X-ray. It takes us kind of inside the storm and ability to see where winds are going in a competing direction. And we still do suspect that we've got some air that's flowing into this thunderstorm here on that warm, moist side of it, and winds that are kind of circulating then away from that storm right over Stony Beach there and just south of Estral Beach. So if you're I-75 or west, and I'll be very clear about that, if you're west of I-75 in Monroe County, you are clear of this. It is not going to be a risk for you anywhere west of I-75. It is essentially just for some of the immediate lakeshore areas as they continue to kind of trim that area of that tornado warning back a little bit more. That is east of Frenchtown, east of I-75, north of the River Raisin, and north and east of the city of Monroe. I tell you, if you're in the city of Monroe as well, you are all clear of this risk. It is not anything that's going to be posing a risk for you in the city of Monroe as well. But there is some indication that we have some circulation that is occurring. And boy, I tell you what, I'd try our best to do if we could actually see that circulation from downtown Toledo. It's very difficult, of course, because we've got rain to kind of look through. But this is our view from downtown Toledo. Veterans Glass City Skyway right there is the mouth of the Maumee River meets Lake Erie. We've got that clearing trend that's happening here in the Toledo Metro. That's the heavier downpour and that severe thunderstorm warning that is in effect for Lucas and Ottawa County. That's until 6:45. I don't see any rotation associated with that storm here in Lucas and Ottawa County, so I don't suspect that we're going to have a risk of any rotation, but it could be the risk of some gusty winds that would be coming from that storm. We can actually take this camera. I'm going to zoom it just a little bit more to the east, and we're going to look towards the heart of this storm. This is now just east of Oregon and over there toward Maumee Bay State Park. And this storm itself potentially producing winds up to 60 miles per hour. And I do expect that we're going to be experiencing those frequent downpours, torrential rain as well that will be a possibility with that storm. The frequent lightning as well, if we widen the picture out, just to kind of reset where our warnings are. It is a severe thunderstorm warning from Monroe County until 6:30, but I will really kind of focus the risk of that area is specifically just east of Monroe. That severe thunderstorm warning, it itself should be allowed to expire, and the tornado warning itself should be tapering off in the next few moments, because as we get the next scan that comes in, these scans come in fairly frequently. This is going to be more of a storm that's a concern now over Lake Erie. In fact, I can make that very clear assessment that if we had a tornado with this, and again, nothing confirmed with that, it was Doppler radar rotated indication, this is going to be now off over Lake Erie. So it is east of Monroe, always has been east of Monroe as well, north of the River Raisin, out towards Stony Point, just south of Estrel Beach. I don't want you outdoors, though, trying to see if you can spot anything at this point, because there's still some frequent clusters of lightning that would be a concern as this one continues to move through. So I do fully expect this tornado warning is going to be allowed to expire without any additional issue. So no issues with that. Should be allowed to expire as we hit the bottom of the hour without any issue, but we likely will carry that severe thunderstorm warning for Lucas County and northern parts of Ottawa County that extends just to the northern edge of Oak Harbor. It does include all of Lucas County. That is going to be in effect until 6:45. And that is a really powerful storm, which still continues to indicate some clusters of lightning. And lightning, of course, a danger this time of the year. Many people looking to be outdoors with baseball games. A good reminder, if you can hear thunder, you're close enough to be struck by lightning, I want you to seek shelter indoors. If you're anywhere around eastern Lucas County, northern parts of Ottawa County as well, let's just say anywhere really north of the Portage River, you're going to be hearing that thunder and you're going to be seeing those frequent flashes of lightning. That is a severe thunderstorm warning that takes us to 6:45. So we could be with you for just another few moments here, and I'll tell you what, directors here could tell me when we hit the end of this end of our show, because we are technically here within WTO 11 news at 6 o'clock. I am clear with putting us back to our regularly scheduled programming, because this tornado warning up there in Monroe County will be allowed to expire, as I don't see any threat that is still continuing to exist with this particular storm. I'll give you one last look at this one. Any indication of rotation, that is now clearly off over Lake Erie. That is not over land anymore. So we do expect that threat has now moved off to the east, and we will continue to monitor that. I will keep you updated on that free WTO 11 weather app. And of course, should we need to break into programming with additional updates, we will do that through the course of the evening as well. But stay tight. We still got that severe thunderstorm warning, which is in effect for Lucas and Ottawa County. That is until 6:45. We'll send you off to regularly scheduled programming.